Hari Om, warm welcome. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? I already have messages from Navya, Pratima, Sandhya, Reena, Leelu. Thank you so much for joining in. Vijayaji just messaged. Namaste, everyone. Welcome. Friday evening, 7 p.m., and you have decided to join the session. What is it with you? Something wrong or something all good? Okay. Now, how many of you tried? Lakshmi is messaging, Hitendra is messaging, Shika has messaged, Sm- Smrita has messaged. Hari Om, good evening, good evening. So, how many of you got an opportunity to try the detox kashaya that we learned yesterday? Nagamani Garu, welcome. Good evening. Healthy tips, healthy lifestyle tips. I don't know who it is, but yeah, warm welcome. So, how many of you got an opportunity to try the detox kashaya that we made yesterday? How was it? Was it good? Did you taste it, or did you not get an opportunity to make it yet? Kamna Hari Om, Ashwini Hari Om, Megha just joined. Namaste Megha, Hari Om. Welcome to the session. We'll give it a couple of more minutes. Shalu, Bhavani has joined. Archana ji joined. Welcome, warm welcome to everyone. Kamna says, I tried the detox kashaya. It is so refreshing. Taste is really good. Very nice, very nice. Super. I'm glad you are trying whatever you're learning. And slowly, my wish is that you get rid of the habit. It's not a bad habit. Let me again reiterate that drinking coffee or tea is definitely not a bad habit, but drinking first thing in the morning is. Drinking first thing in the morning definitely is. And with sugar, absolutely wrong. Right? So it doesn't taste good with jaggery, especially coffee doesn't taste good at all with jaggery, so there's no choice. But if you are used to dhaga mishri, just try it once. It is a little expensive, but just get it for about half a kilo or 1 kilo. You can order it off Amazon or buy it in any ayurveda store, and try it for about a week and see how it feels. And once you like it, then Seema says kashaya was superb. Sushmita says it is very good. Can we add mint leaves in any kashaya for refreshing taste? Kamna, um, you have actually revealed today's secret. For digestion, we're going to add mint leaves. We're going to look at the video. Kashaya for digestion is very, very interesting, but it has mint leaves in it. Can we have these teas in the morning, empty stomach before yoga? Absolutely, yes, you can. Definitely can, Archana. Right? And they are very energetic. They have a lot of flavonoids, and flavonoids are especially good. These are um, components that actually helps enhance the prana. You read about flavonoids and you will understand how interesting they are. They can actually fight cancer cells. That's how beneficial they are. We are all born with cancer cells. There are free radicals that are waiting to bond with other unwanted molecules in the body. They enter in the form of, I don't know what not, through breath, through food, whatsoever, right? So when you take these anti-inflammatory, antioxidant type of ingredients in your kashaya, they are going to work so well that even the cancer cells will have to bid goodbye and get out of your body. All right? Okay. So 7:05. Let us start today's session. Today we're going to talk about digestion. Now, would you believe or not if I told you that at least about 80% of your energy is spent in digestion? We eat about, I don't know, some people eat once. I've switched to one meal a day 2 weeks back, and it feels really good. Now, when I say one meal, I'm not sticking to only one meal and not opening mouth for anything else. No, that's not how I eat. I eat a lot of fruits. Okay, so my morning starts with either coconut water or sugarcane juice or any fruit if it is available, and I eat a proper lunch, and a good lunch. And when I say proper lunch, it's not a big quantity. It's sufficient enough to say, okay, I'm good. I don't feel overeaten at any point after I eat my lunch, but that's the only big portion I eat. Evening, I would rather skip or take a fruit if that is required, only when I feel hungry. If I don't feel hungry, I don't eat at all. Yeah, so it's only been 2 weeks, so let's see how it goes. I might switch back, that's also there. But I know people who eat twice a day and are energetic. I know people who eat 3 times a day. I know people who eat 4 times a day. I know people who eat more than 9 times a day also, right? So whatever we do, your gut being the second brain in the entire human body, it has a good reserve of blood, just in case whatever goes in, immediately it is worked upon. All your required hormones and digestive juices are released. So your brain acts actively while you're eating. And all your five senses, what are the sense organs? The sense of touch, sense of vision, sense of smell, sense of taste, and the sense of hearing, sound also. All the five senses get activated. How sound? People must be wondering. You hear anybody telling about anything that is really tasty that they have eaten in a particular restaurant or they made at home, they start telling about it, and you will feel salivary glands releasing saliva. Your mouth starts watering, isn't it? So food is something that tickles all the five senses, as per me. Now, many people would say that your food starts digesting the moment you put in your mouth, but the digestive juices start secreting the moment you see it, the moment you smell it, the moment you hear. Even the sizzling sound of the tadka that mom puts on your favorite dish, right? And the aroma, right, instantly makes you feel hungry. You would put everything aside and want to take a bite from whatever she made, right? So that's how food is. Food is one element that would trigger all the five senses, all right? And the digestion starts the moment you either see, touch, feel, anything, any of the five senses that triggers your food. The digestive juices start secreting, and your brain tells the stomach to start preparing, and it knows from the sense organs that you're going to eat something. You're definitely going to eat something. You're at least going to try. If it doesn't taste, as a second matter, but instantly you would put it in the mouth, your brain knows, and it starts preparing all the other organs, right? And then when you chew well, this is one thing that I keep requesting everybody. We have 32 teeth for us to bite the food, chew the food properly, grind it properly, and then send it down the throat into the stomach. Not just take a gulp, take a quick bite and then gulp it off. No, it's not for that. You have to chew the food at least about 30 to 35 times. You have to chew it. What happens when you chew it? Your food, if it is acidic, just in case, because of the alkaline saliva, it gets mixed well with the saliva and then goes down the throat as an alkaline material. Now your stomach has all the acids that are needed. You don't need to put more acids. You have to chew the food to make sure the alkalinity is maintained, and then send it down the throat. All right. And once the process in the mouth is completed, it goes down the throat through the esophagus, and then your stomach is already waiting for the food to come down so it can further process the food. So along with other digestive juices, there is this strongest hydrochloric acid that is waiting in the stomach to just break down the food into components that is easy for the blood to be able to pick up. And I don't have a pen around. Okay, the diameter of the small intestine is very, very, very tiny. It is as thick as maybe a pencil or a pen that we use, right? And it's very tiny, but it's a long one. Of all the digestive organs, the small intestine is about 18 to 20 feet, 18 to 22 feet by itself. The entire gut is 30 feet long inside the body, in the human body. It is at least about 5-6 times our own height, right? In other animals, it is about 1 or 2 times. In some of them, it is very, very tiny. But in humans, it is 5 to 6 times long as our height. Okay, that's the average I'm talking about, right? So for the food to pass through that tiny hole in the small intestine after the stomach process, it has to undergo a lot of churning, it has to undergo a lot of processing inside the mouth and inside the stomach. Only then will it go into the small intestine, and the part or the slimy part that goes into the small intestine is called chyme. Okay, so the more grinding you don't do in the mouth, your stomach has to do all of it, all of that. So your chemical digestion, mechanical digestion, both your stomach has to do, which is adding time and effort to the process, right? So which can be eliminated by chewing the food well, right? So once that is done, you will see that the quantity of food you're eating also will reduce, because too much of chewing, your jaw starts paining, and you will say, okay, after 15 minutes, I'm done, I'm feeling full, and you would give up on eating too much. You wouldn't be able to overeat if you are chewing the food well, right? And trust me, if this process is not followed, then your body spends more than 80% of the energy that you're gaining in digesting the food itself. Some people I know of who eat a heavy breakfast and are not hungry at lunch. They still feel the burps of breakfast, but still eat the lunch because either it is time, or the colleague is calling, or the family is calling, right? Or they have to step out of the house. They may not be able to eat till evening 6, 7, so they finish the lunch just because they have to do it. They are not hungry actually. Wrong thing to do. You should eat when you feel hunger. Hunger is a sharp shooting pain. You know the sternum bone, right? The chest bone. So at the bottom of the chest bone here, right here, this is where the stomach and the esophagus meet each other. That's the joint. That's where you will feel sharp shooting pain. That's hunger. When you have hunger, it indicates that your stomach is ready, your digestive fire is at its peak. So it's right time for you to eat. Right? Try to eat at stipulated time if possible, and if your activity levels are good enough, you will feel hungry at that particular time. Somewhere between 1 to 2 is your lunch time, isn't it? Somewhere around 8, 9 o'clock is your breakfast, or maybe a little before that, depending on what kind of activities you do. Some people who attend classes at 10 a.m., they end up eating at 7, 7:30. So the food digests and they take up the class after 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever time it is, and blah, blah, blah. So whatever you're doing, if you're doing it at the right time, go ahead, follow that. Okay. Now, after the small intestine, it goes into the large intestine, and then all the food that is not being digested stays there, and the gut microbiome, the bacteria, good bacteria, converts it into feces, and then with the process of the muscular movement called the peristaltic movement, the food goes all the way in the large intestine, which is threefold, and then sits at the rectum in the form of stool, waits for the instructions from the brain to be eliminated from the body, either once or twice in a day. Once is also healthy, but twice is not bad. Okay, and this is the entire digestion process. Now, for some reason, because the digestive fire is not good, or the activity levels are not very good in the in the lifestyle, etc., whatsoever reason it is, for some people it is challenging, right? And how can we enhance it? We can use these kashayas to build the digestive fire. There are a few ingredients like mint. We were talking about when Kamna asked. Mint is a very, very beautiful ingredient. I was talking about sugarcane juice as my morning meal or juice, isn't it? Sugarcane in combination with mint, ginger, and lemon is a beautiful detox agent. How many of you know this? Right? If you don't find a vendor who sells it along with mint, I would recommend, especially in summer, you should take a bunch of mint leaves, washed properly, request the vendor to add it into the grinding process and give you. Taste also enhances, it helps in detoxing, removing the toxins from the body. Very, very, very beautiful drink, especially in summer. This is amazing. All right, everybody should try this. All right, so time to look at the video. Request Karthik to play the kashaya. Hari Om everyone. Welcome to the Kashaya section, and in this part of the series we are going to make our first digestive tea. For this I have cumin, very, very commonly used in the Indian kitchen. I also have cinnamon. Now This I bought in the bark form, and then I used a processor to coarse grind it. It's not fine ground, it's coarse ground. So you could do so and then store it for some time. So these are the two ingredients. The third ingredient that's going to go in is our fresh mint leaves. So the leaves are tiny here. I'm going to use a little more, maybe about 10-12 leaves, but if you buy the leaves from the market and the leaves are a little bigger, you could use maybe 6 leaves and then make the tea. Okay, so in this kashaya, I'm going to show you the simmering method. We are going to start with about 150-170 ml of water. Usually a small teacup is considered to be about 60 to 75 ml tea. That's the quantity of tea we should ideally be drinking. So into 2, I'm going to make 2 cups. So about 150 to 170 ml of water I'm going to use. Alright, so that's about it. And then I'm going to turn on the stove. Now I've put it at its maximum. Right. So what you're starting to see are a few bubbles, and they are slowly appearing on top. Now when the frequency of these goes up a little more, that's when I would bring the stove to its minimum, to the simmer. This is called the simmering method. Now you can see how the bubbles are rising up slowly. Alright, so it is almost time. So I'm going to simmer this down to the minimum. Right, and then I'm going to put the ingredients. So I need 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm using the measuring spoon and putting 1/8 teaspoon of ground fresh cinnamon, and I'm going to need 1/4 teaspoon of the cumin seeds. So what I will do here is make use of the pestle. I take 1/4 teaspoon cumin seeds, and then I'm going to very coarsely pound it, grind it to release the aroma. That's all. You don't need to do too much. You just have to let the flavors come out, and then you're going to pop that in. And then I'm going to use about tiny 10 to 12 leaves of mint. Then I'll let it sit there for about 3-4 minutes or so. Very good. So it is about time, and I can see the cumin has started releasing its colors in the water. The mint flavor is also felt. So this is the time where I will turn off the stove. Okay, so give it a good stir, and let me add jaggery. About 10 to 12 grams of jaggery for 2 people should be good enough. If you have a little bigger sweet tooth, then maybe you can add a little more, depending on how you do it for the first time. Second time you can change the quantity. I am adding about 12 grams of it. Okay, and then I would give it a good stir, allow the jaggery to melt. So the jaggery has melted well. I'm going to pour it into my serving jar. Look at the beautiful color, and you could use the mint, maybe take a leaf and put it in each glass. So I'm going to pour this into the serving cup. And you have the first tea. Go ahead, take a sip and let me know how you felt. Alright, so since that was the first in the digestive series, I said first tea. For today, it is the third tea anyway. Right? So, how many of your mouths started to salivate? Right? So, mint, like I said, highly rich in nutrients. It helps in improving if somebody has irritable bowel syndrome. Mint can be soothing for such people. For people that have indigestive problem, food whatever they eat is not digesting. Mint can help in helping it digest. It can improve the brain function, and it also is a good flavorful leaf. So anyone has bad breath, mint can be a good element to chew. Various other health benefits of mint, flavorful. It's even used in the pani puri that you eat, isn't it? So yeah, very very useful ingredient in every household. Mint is something that is mandatorily there, and especially in summer, it is magical in helping lower the body heat. Right? Cinnamon, on the other hand, is a very beautiful spice, very very aromatic. Even a tiny piece when you eat dal chini, that's even in the dals that we prepare, they add this to give that sweet taste in the mint. I'm in Goa and I have seen the live tree. The raw mint usually available in the dried form, isn't it? But for the tea that I'm making here, I'm using the raw stem and leaves to see how it tastes, and it is really amazing and wonderful. We also have the tej pata or the biryani leaf, that tree, and the green leaves look amazing. I've never seen the green leaf. I've always seen the dried form, but this tree here is really amazing, right? And then cinnamon also helps in lowering the blood pressure, and people that are suffering with diabetes, cinnamon can be a good herb for them to take regularly. Cumin, on the other hand, for people that have issues with digestion, it's going. If anybody has gas trouble, you could take 5 grams of cumin seeds after your meal. Just put it in your mouth and start chewing. Drink the juice. At the end, whatever the leftover pulp is, you could either throw it. My recommendation is gulp it down. It acts as a very good fiber, helps in bowel movement. But gas issues can easily be resolved when cumin is consumed after meal. Just 5 grams of it, take it and start chewing. That's the reason why there's another herb called sonf, that's also given as after meal, isn't it, in restaurants. That also is a good option, but better than that is cumin. Right? So try this kashaya and let me know how it tasted. But if you have any questions, please go ahead and I'm all ears to answer. Kamna, you're right. Sorry, you're right about your comment on how we eat less when we chew well. So true. Thank you so much. Sir, can you please tell second kashaya? You mean in this series? In the digestive series, it's coming up. Every day, one kashaya. When you buy the course, you will have all access to all 5, 6, 8 kashayas. Can people with diabetes avoid jaggery and drink? Yes, they can. But honey is a good option. However, honey should not be heated beyond its temperature. Only in lukewarm fluids you have to use honey. How frequently can you drink this? You can take it for a week, and then if digestion improves, you can maybe reduce it to alternate day. So the series, I told you there are five different ingredients. You could try out of the 30, you could try one or two kashayas every day. You can keep changing the flavors and it'll overall show health benefits. So I've done, I told you, metabolism, which is coming up, immune booster, which is also coming up. We have done today the digestion. Yesterday we did the detox. Day before we did the anti-aging. So all put together, there are 30 videos. 28 or 30, some 28 or 30 videos. You could use one each every day. What are the questions? Bay leaves, there is a kashaya made out of bay leaves itself. Oh, that's one, but interestingly, there's a kashaya that I made out of the beetle leaf also. Time to take this kashaya before meal, maybe give it half an hour, 45 minutes before your meal, you can do it. Or even as a regular drink during your evening time or even in the morning time, you can drink that. And need not be just before your meal because it is digestive kashaya. It helps improve the overall digestion process, so need not be taken only before meal. You can take it anytime that is convenient. First thing in the morning also is a good time to drink this kashaya. 6-year-old, the spice levels might have to be reduced, so use half the ingredients and make it. Yeah, but they can drink. Do they have digestive issues at that age? I doubt. What are the questions? Oh, there comes the ingredients. Sai, thank you. All right, if no other questions, then it is time for us to call it a day. Tried the detox kashaya, so good and refreshing. Thank you, Kamna. Give me a high five. Sandhya says it was very good. She tried the kashaya. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, all you lovely people. Thank you. Ingredients for detox, it's there in the video that we made yesterday. If you go to the Bodhi YouTube channel, you'll find this video is shared, saved. You could watch it again. Stomach pain, and they say due to constipation. I would recommend, to see a doc before starting the kashaya. A 6-year-old, don't take that. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of the day. Tomorrow we will meet up and talk the immune booster will be up.